Today is very important for a Chelsea fan because first, this is the end of the January transfer window, and second, we are facing West Ham, and there are a lot of things that are happening at the same time, and again are not happening. Like we wanted a lot more on the transfer side, but we got none. Like over the whole of January, we have not signed anybody, but we have lost Vega, who wasn't like really playing. We have lost Chilwell, who again wasn't playing. Now we are likely going to lose Felix and Disasi. The only thing that there are like disagreements, like Spurs want Disasi, Disasi wants Aston Villa. Again, Aston Villa wants Felix, and Chelsea are taking Aston Villa's competition for the top four. Now they think that them or us giving Disasi and Felix to Aston Villa will really bolster or boost their chances of getting to top four. And again, this is a little ironical because if we are taking all these players as liabilities, like those players, because these are not people like that are developing. These are people that have already developed. Like these are people that they are either good or they are not good. So if they are not good, we wouldn't be minding giving them to anybody. The fact that first we are considering like giving them to teams like Aston Villa is boosting their chances up means that to an extent we have realized or we know these players are not as bad as we make them to be. So if they go to an opponent, they will perform. And that's what you saw even with Vega playing in Juventus. Like he was like playing really well. And to some extent, I was thinking, is Italy a very low league? Like, is there a huge difference between Premier League and Italy? Because why would somebody ball in Juventus so well and not ball in Premier League like in Chelsea? Now, the thing is, again, certain players don't fit in certain systems, and certain systems just don't. And it's not even about ball playing, it's just even the weather and everything, and the coach and the environment, the players, the people you hang out with. They can make your game or make you not play as you should. And a lot of people have been claiming. First, I'll just go to what these people have been saying about Maresca before I like give my view, because I've been giving my view, but I think even with the last game, like against Chelsea, not Chelsea, Arsenal versus Man City, you will see. And this is what I've always been saying. Like Maresca gives a lot of respect to these other teams. Like he was giving City a lot of respect. And you could see whenever a team wanted like to beat City, they will just do it like very easily because City doesn't have a midfield, City doesn't have a defend. You beat them in a counter attack, you like press them, you'll score every time, you'll create a chance every time, but we didn't do. Now, this is another guy saying even Maresca knows today's games are must win after that Man City performance. The Sifas are not patient like that. Yeah, I think, and I don't know, I feel people just don't like Maresca. I don't think like he's the coach that a lot of people will give him time. People gave Pochettino time because he had shown that he could build a team with Spurs. People gave Tuchel time because he came and he won the Champions League on his first trial. People gave people like uh, Ancelotti and Conte time because they are proven winners. With Maresca, like he hasn't proved like he's a winner. The only time he has tried to do something is in the championship with the Leicester that had been relegated, but had a lot of some few people who had already even played in Premier League. And even at the second leg of the championship, he lost a lot of games. So, as much as he had that thing and that assistant to Pep thing going on for him, he hasn't like really proved that is the coach. So even as this person is saying, like people are not patient, and I expect that people will not be patient with him. And I've gone through all those messages or Twitter pertaining to Chelsea and Maresca and the players, and everything is about Maresca. Like now, people like are holding him accountable for everything happening in the team. Maresca is a championship manager that respects every opponent. Again, this is about that Man City. Now, Renato Vega masterclass for Juventus played with a lot of freedom. Again, this person showing like all these Twitter, all these tweets are just pointing to the same thing. Like the problem we have is not even the players. Yes, we have a lot of deadwood or what we'll say like people underperforming, but then we have a lot of guys in that team that could really like compete, not just for top four, compete for the league. The reason why they're not competing is definitely Maresca. Amorim, Maresca, and Fabian are not good football coach. They are idealists that need significant talent level to perform consistently. The worst type of modern football manager, the idea should never be. Yeah, this is also one thing that we have also been discussing. Again, when I said like when people leave Chelsea, most like some of the like talented players, they go out there and they play. Like we have seen people like Kovacic. Other than this season, like last season he was balling. Now Vegas gone and it's just one game, but he's balling. Emerson went and he was balling. To some extent, you will feel that certain players just don't work out in this team, and it's one biggest thing is because the coach, they're just idealists. Like I come with my playing style, and I come with my formation, and I fail to consider all the talents and all the characteristics of the players in that team. Like I want them to fit in this formation and fit in this playing style, even if it is not working. Like when we saw even Tuchel at some point, that was one reason why people are really disagreeing with him and calling for him to be sacked because he had that 3-4 something. Like, but it was not working when Chilwell and James were not there. And every time we were playing, at some point, James and Chilwell started getting injuries. And now we'll have a team where we know like the people that are making this system to work are James and Chilwell, but they're not there. Now what should we do? We just can't try and tell all this other guy like we try and take Pulisic, we play him at left wing back, or we don't know we take uh, like we are trying to create defenders to play in position, and I've seen even this in City because people like Nunes is not a defender, but is being taken to play right back, and you can see him making the mistakes, you can see him not tackling as you should, you can see him losing possession, you can see him. And even last game against City, the person who the second goal, like who put these people on side, it was Noni, the person who put Foden on side. Was it the second goal or the third goal? Was Noni. Now you could see where Noni was playing. If you look at it, you can see like how the coach has tactically formed this team. He has like put the team in such a way that the right winger has to always, when you are being attacked, to always be in that position of a right back, but he can't like move in the same way like defenders move. So he'll either put people on side or fail to tackle or fail to do certain things. And this is one thing that I'll say. Like it shouldn't just be on the like the main manager. You should have assistant to see those things and tell you like, okay, I know this thing has been working for you, but we need certain changes. Like we don't have to start playing with the same formation from January to December, even if it is not working at some point. We need to find another formation, or we need to find other things to tweak to make this formation work. That's what I want for Maresca. And it's not just about buying people, it's not about, of course, we need to buy people. And that's another thing that I focus around. Because, again, I've said this is the last day in this January window. And since the start of the window, I mean, since November, since the start of December, we were always in agreement that we needed a keeper and we needed a striker. And right now, Lavia is not around. We have sold the backup midfielders, which means if anything goes wrong for Caicedo, either he gets a red, either he misses two, two games. Now, the person who will be playing there, even in the last time, we were thinking like maybe Vega could play in that position, but right now, Casade is not there. We have loaned all the defenders. The only, not defenders, midfielders, the only midfielder remaining is Hall. But Hall is not even a defensive midfielder. So we are relying, or we are expecting, or we are, I don't know, hoping that Caicedo goes this season playing every other game without getting an injury. Because if he gets an injury, now we'll have the under 21, Raksaki, coming to play as a DM, and that's just recipe for failure. Like if things just don't go the way we want, we really don't have a plan B. We have no plan for any emergency that we face. And that's one big danger for Chelsea because, and this is very important, this, why we are in club championship is because Tuchel won in 2022. Now, if you look at the trajectory of the club in how much revenue they are making, a lot has come from the initial investment. Like right now, we don't even have a shirt sponsor. The next thing that is going to happen, because this ownership is not Abramovich, the next thing that is going to happen is that we'll have limited transfer. And because we have signed a lot of people, given them a lot, that amortization, given them 9 years, and now the amortization expenses are so huge. If we are not in a position to even cook the books to increase the revenue, and we are not in Champions League next year, if we don't work so hard, or if we don't do the things that we need to do to get to Champions League, will not be in the Club World Cup. And now the entire system, the entire revenue system around Chelsea will fall. Now will not have the money or the capability or the accounts like around PSR to buy the players that we need. So if people like Palmer decide to go out, will not have the money to replace them, or not even the man will not be able in a position to replace them according to PSR or based on PSR requirements without getting charges, without getting points deduction. So it is imperative, it is very important that Maresca and the whole team knows that we need to be playing so well. We need to be in Champions League. We need to be in Club World Cup. We need to get us huge shirt sponsorship. We need, if this team has to remain the same way we will, or we are going to be as Spurs. Yep.